not only are you selling on Amazon, being a family man, trying to run business at home, you've managed your course, you've done all these things, and somehow you've still managed to fit another piece of the puzzle in there. You develop software.
Yeah, well, not personally, but I am the owner of a couple of software companies. Yes, sir.
What is that company called?
2D Workflow.
2D Workflow. Can you tell everybody what is? Because I've heard the phrase 2D and barcodes. I've seen it on Amazon, but I'm not too familiar with it.
So, and the way I even had time for this, because I didn't set out to make a software that I was going to offer to people. This is a software that I built internally for my own business, that before I even considered offering it to the public, this was a software that I built for my own personal use in my warehouse with my employees. And what 2D Workflow does is it gives us the ability to prep and ship products to Amazon much faster than we normally would. So whatever you're prepping, if you're prepping, 1,000 units a week or 5,000 units a week or whatever it is, you're able to prep it much faster using 2D Workflow. And for us, it also acts almost like my warehouse manager, because there was a point in the business where I could not take time off. I could not go on vacation, because if I wasn't there to delegate the work, to tell people what to do, to print the labels, to say, these are the items in the shipment, this is how you are supposed to prep this is how you're supposed to prep that. If I wasn't there, the business would slow down, grind to a halt, fall apart. So I needed some sort of automated system that was going to remove myself from that part of the business. So now 2D Workflow acts like my warehouse manager. In my warehouses, my guys come to work. They have a computer. There's 2D Workflow set up on the prep station. They log into it. They see what items they're working on, what items they need to find, where to find them, what the quantities are. They press a button. It gives them the labels for those items.
Oh, wow.
I no longer have to do that. It helps them prep and pack everything in one shot, as opposed to prepping something now and then coming back to it at the end of the shipment and doing the box label. So it makes that whole entire process go faster. At the same time, now with these new inbound placement fees, it also helps you plan and optimize your shipments in a way to hopefully avoid some of these fees. And it's been very beneficial. And then I saw how beneficial it was for us. And then it only made sense for me to break it off and start offering it to first some of my students and then to just sellers in general.
So now I saw something on social media you posted where you had like 3 shipments. It was like 4,400 items. It was like 120 SKUs or something like that. And it was trying to send it to 3 different, it was splitting it 3 different ways, 3 different locations. And you guys know what a pain in the ass splits are. And where you're located in New Jersey, you wanted everything to go to, I think it was Somerset. Does that sound right? Somerset, New Jersey. And he was in his 2D software, and he clicked optimize on that one location where he wanted to send everything. And what it did was it basically said, okay, screw you, Amazon. We're going to send everything to Somerset at no additional cost, right?
Yep.
And how do you get it? Like, how does that happen though? Because like, so when I'm not sending 4,000 items in, right? Right now, currently, I think at my peak, I was sending between 800 to 1,000 items in a shipment. Now I'm sending maybe, 1 to 400, but it doesn't even allow me to basically when I pack my items up and I get to the shipping part, there's no other, and I've checked my settings and everything, there's no other option but to pay the placement fee. So if somebody's not sending in 4,000 items, somebody's sending in maybe under 500, would 2D Workflow benefit them as well as far as optimization?
And it's not necessarily that it's 2D that's benefiting them. So the way that all of this, or the reason that all of this is possible, is because when Amazon has 2 different systems. They have Seller Central, which a lot of people obviously know and use, and then they have their Amazon API, which is what all the softwares use to communicate with Amazon and build shipments. And the API works differently than Seller Central. There are things that you can do in the API that you cannot do in Seller Central. And Amazon, to our advantage, they are always slow with changing the API to make it match what Seller Central is doing. So the way Seller Central is operating right now, eventually someday in the future, God willing, as far away as possible, but they're going to make the API work like Seller Central. But for the time being, there are certain things that you can do in the API that you can no longer do in Seller Central, and that's because Amazon is just slow to fix things.
Yeah, I've noticed that Amazon Seller Central has been changing too. From the shipment page, things look different. Things are the one thing that always pissed me off is that when I'm creating a shipment, if I made a mistake and I put an item in the shipment and I'm packing the boxes and I'm using their online list where you put, the quantities, you cannot delete any of the items. You can't put 0 and you can't leave it blank. So like, I wish that Amazon would make it.
Are you sure you can't delete items from sellers? Because I'm under the impression that you can change any quantity plus minus 5% or 6 units, or delete an entire item completely from a shipment.
So I was packing up. It was like 150 books on one of my Amazon accounts, and I get to the point where I'm entering the quantity, and I'm realizing that that I don't have the book or whatever, right? And you can't zero it out. And if you leave it blank, it says you must allocate all quantities for all items. So I'm like, so I put 1 and I just have to take that. Cause number 1, I'm not starting over from 150 books. Cause I've already got 6 boxes. They're already taped up. Like I've already got everything, whatever. But you can't just delete that item from the quantity list. It's the one thing that's driven me crazy forever. And I just don't understand why you cannot do that.
Yeah, sometimes Amazon does unexplicable shit, but in
crazy.
software you can for sure do that.